This is Ashton Honegger. Today I am with Miss Brammer. As many of you know, Mrs. Brammer is the student teacher in Mr. Jevick's room. So what's it like to be a student teacher?
It's definitely a learning experience because up until this point, I'd just done like practicums in college and observed different classes. So actually getting the opportunity to teach and to try to do classroom management and all those things, that's pretty interesting. And I've really enjoyed like getting to know the students and building relationships with the students.
What made you want to be a teacher?
Well, I actually said I would never be a teacher, which is what's funny. And then in college, my sophomore year, I just really felt like I was pre-med at the time, and I felt like that's not really the direction that I needed to go in, or that, I grew up in church, and I really wanted to make sure that I was doing what the Lord had for me, and I felt like I could make a big difference in teaching, especially in sciences. I feel like that's not a field that very many people want to go into as far as education goes, so that's kind of how I ended up teaching.
Where did you go to school, college-wise?
I went to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia.
And what did you want to do growing up compared to what you do now?
A little bit of everything. I wanted to be on Fox News. I wanted to run for some type of political office, but really most of my childhood and even, up until college, I wanted to be a doctor. I started out as pre-med, like I said, and then switched to biology and added a teacher's licensure my second year of college.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The Ohio House Transportation and Public Service Committee has introduced House Bill 106. House Bill 106, if passed, would change the driving age to 16 and a half. You will still get a permit at 15 and a half years of age, but you will be required to have the permit for 1 year before being able to get your license. The bill will also change the nighttime driving hours to midnight to 6 a.m. if you are under the age of 18, to ensure newly licensed teen drivers are supervised while driving after 10 p.m. rather than midnight for the first 6 months of license, with exemptions for work, school, and religious activities. Note this is not a curfew. Teens are not restricted from driving or being after 10 p.m. They simply must be with an adult if they are behind the wheel. We will keep a watch on this House bill and let you know if it passes and how it will impact your driving.
On the 10th, Percy Fannin and Angel Smith. On the 11th, Keandra Martin, Chase Stevens. On the 13th, Cheyenne Riddle, Lincoln Barnes, Reyes Wilson, Kenny Barron, and Maggie Hackworth. On the 14th, Ethan Potter and Joshua Jones. On the 16th, we have Kaylee Collins and Jacob Holsinger. And that's all I have for this week. Go Fighting Tigers.
Today I'm with Mr. Sloan. As many of you know, Mr. Sloan is the algebra teacher for this year in Ironton High School. How are you doing, Mr. Sloan?
Doing well, Ashton, thanks.
That's good. How is your first year at Ironton going so far?
Oh, it's busy. It's busy. I was out of as a regular teacher for 6 years. I'd retired in 2013, 35 years, and then I was a tutor and getting back in. Things have changed a good bit, but I think I'm getting up to speed now. So yeah, it's been busy, but good.
What is it like teaching algebra?
Well, I've always enjoyed math because it's black and white. There's an answer. It's not subjective, and I've always been interested in just kind of like I'm almost making a puzzle out of it. It just bothers me when I don't know the answer, and I like multi-step type situations, following directions. So I'm kind of interested anyway. So it's kind of fun.
All right. What other teaching jobs have you had?
In terms of subjects, you mean, or actually where I've worked? My first 16 years I taught at Eastern High School in Pike County, Ohio, a little town called Beaver, between Waverly, real small. But then for the next 20 years until I retired, I taught at Minford High School, northern Sauter County, not that far from here really. And then I retired, and then for the next 6 years I did subbing, and then I really had a full-time they called it a full-time sub position, but it was like a full-time tutor. I helped out with, especially mathematics on the intercourse exams and the standardized testing.
What made you want to become a math teacher?
Well, like I said, I've always been interested in black and white situations, things that required some logic to figure out, like almost like a puzzle. I was interested in engineering. I started off wanting to be an engineer, and really there was not a lot of engineering jobs in this area, and I wanted to stay in this area. So I enjoyed my high school experience, especially math and science, and I just decided to do that.
This week, the Tiger Beans Coffee Shop opened. They will be in the cafeteria before school and during lunch. Iced coffee is $3, coffee with cream is $2, and black coffee is $1. Election day was Tuesday. We had the day off due to voting in our buildings. The Impact/SADD group, I went to the middle school to participate in the Red Ribbon Week.
Friday, November 8th, we had a Veterans Day Assembly. We also had a guest speaker, author Raymond O'Connell. Veterans Day was established on November 11th, 1919. This date was the first anniversary of the ending of World War I. As a result of lobbying by veteran service organizations, Armistice Day was changed to Veterans Day in 1954.
And the other lesson I've learned is that Johann Goethe was right. So whatever you can do, or dream you can, begin it. Boldness does have genius, power, and a little bit of magic in it.
The Huntington Fighting Tigers played the Wilson Rockets on November 9th and destroyed the Golden Rockets with an outstanding score of 56-6. Coach Pendleton had this to say about the game. Defense is still playing great, playing responsibly. Special teams have to shore it up. You can't give them short field position. We've got to be able to turn them away. Offensively, we didn't execute as highly as we like to. We've got to do a better job on the offensive side of the ball. But ultimately, it's been a win, and we're on to the next round. On Saturday, November 16th, the Fighting Tigers will go against Amanda Clear Creek in Jackson at 7 p.m. The bowling team is underway and has already had 4 practices and will have practice November 12th, 3:30 at spare time. The volleyball team went to support the Special Olympics team, and they got 3rd place out of 9 teams. On Tuesday, October
Sucker.
20th. Oh, God bless. No, Monday, Tuesday. Well, you want to say this? Tuesday, November 5th. Well, this is gonna be horrible.
No, stop.
Tuesday, Monday, November. I don't have no school. Tuesday, November 5th, school. Mom, this is. Hey, Mom, sit down for a minute. On Tuesday, November 5th, Ironton will have no school. On November 9th, Ironton will face Wellston Golden Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. Is that it?
Yep.
Oh. Was that? That's it.
Thank you. Now go home.